Ukraine's president on Wednesday joined the United Nations Security Council meeting in person for the first time since Russia's invasion. At the UN headquarters in New York, Volodymyr Zelenskiy sought support for Kyiv at a contentious meeting.
Ukraine exercises its right to self-defense. Helping Ukraine with weapons in this exercise by imposing sanctions and exerting comprehensive pressure on the aggressor, as well as voting for relevant resolutions, would mean helping to defend the UN Charter.
The Ukrainian leader also echoed calls for reforming the UN, specifically the expansion of the 15-member Security Council. Despite dozens of meetings over the war, the Council has been unable to take any action because Russia is a veto power.
Reform of such international institutions were made following tragedies, major wars. We should not wait for the aggression to be over. We need to act now. Our aspiration for peace should drive the reform.
Zelensky was placed at the same table as Russian diplomats, despite Moscow earlier protesting his appearance. But he left before the arrival of Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who showed up briefly to make a statement. Ukraine and Western countries have successfully isolated Russia diplomatically at the UN. During the Security Council meeting, many leaders took turns in pointing fingers at Moscow.
The Russian Federation has crossed the Rubicon.
Russia is abusing its veto power.
And we support Ukraine's efforts to hold Russia to account.
While the General Assembly has voted several times to condemn the invasion and demand Moscow withdraw its troops. Their argument, Russia has violated the 1945 UN Charter. But the Russian foreign minister accused the West of selectively using the UN Charter, quote, solely based on their selfish geopolitical needs. This has resulted in a shaking of global stability, as well as the worsening and fomenting of new hotbeds of tension. Risks of global conflict have heightened, Lavrov said. To shore up support for Ukraine, Zelensky on Wednesday met with more world leaders on the sidelines of the UN. He also pressed Kyiv's case for financial help with a group of business leaders. And on Thursday, he's set to head for Washington, D.C. to meet U.S. President Joe Biden at the White House. Biden is expected to announce a new military aid package during Zelenskyy's visit.